I was disappointed in our first half. I was. I just didn't think Ricky played well at all. I thought he stunk the first half. I thought Markel Crawford stunk. I didn't think Avery gave us production the first half. I thought we started the game, Shaq didn't guard like he was supposed to on Waterman, and the kid hits a shot. We just didn't play well the first half. The zone saved us. We played some zone. The zone was good for us. We went into the zone, and it worked. And then they started hitting some threes. But the guys I mentioned didn't play well the first half. They stunk. Second half, Markel Crawford played like an All-American. Ricky Tarrant played like an All-American defender. He defended. Shaq Goodwin was a stud in there. Avery Woodson, even though he didn't score, he had 3 assists, no turnovers, but he made some big-time defensive 50-50 plays that don't show up in the box score. So, and I felt Diedrich, he didn't play well to start the game again, but then he got going and he was really effective in that high post. I thought Tristan Burrell the first half did some good things for us. I also thought he didn't stay in it mentally. He was letting some trash talk and get to him, and I've told him before and told him again and again, you got to let stuff go. You can't allow things to affect you. You've got to act like you've been there before. And I want him to play with great emotion, but he's got to channel it the right way. Second half, he was really good for us, and he just focused in on the game. I thought KJ Lawson, who hadn't played in a while, came and did some good things. He just got in foul trouble. He fouled out. He was just in foul trouble. I thought Jeremiah Martin came in. He turned it over. I took him right out. Second half, though, when he got back in, he did good things. He made a big-time 50-50 ball defensively. Had 2 big defensive plays. Keedron Johnson came in, gave us good minutes. I thought Craig Randall did as well, too. And I thought Nick was solid on both halves. So that's where it's at. First half, they had 9 points off of our 7 turnovers. First half, they had 10 second chance points off of their 5 offensive rebounds. They had actually more fast break points than us, and I told our guys the 3 keys of the game were, 1, take the 3 out. They were 6 of 20. 20 of their 32 first half shots from the first half were from 3. Second part, I said, well, you have to value the ball. We already had 7 turnovers, and they had 9 points off of our 7 turnovers. And I said we had to pound on points in the paint, and we were only up 18-14. Second half, we were 32-4 points in the paint. We turned it over only 4 times, and they didn't score off of any points off of our turnovers. And they had no more. They only scored 1 point off of the second, or they didn't score any more in the second chance points. They only had 2 offensive rebounds in the second half. Defensively, we opened the game because defensively we guarded the second half like we were supposed to all for 40 minutes, and we only did it for 20. And that's just something that we can't do. We didn't shoot the ball well again from 3. We were, 1 for 8. We're going to have to make some threes. I mean, we shoot a lot, like I've told you guys before. We have a shooting board. We guys have to make 253 6 days a week starting back in June. So, and this has continued, and we shoot so much in practice. It's just, we just haven't put the ball in the basket and from 3, and we're due to make it. It's got to happen. So, but I'm like everybody else. I'm waiting for it to happen, and we just got to put it in. And some of the shots are good. Some of the shots are good threes, or just got to put it in. 18 assists on 33 made field goals. That's a great stat. Manhattan averaged forcing teams into 17 turnovers, and we only had 11, so that's a good job, and only 4 the second half.
How good is this team if you play 2 halves like you played the
I love this team. I love our team, but we got to play 2 halves, and I was not happy with some of those guys in the first half, and some of those guys we can't afford to play 2 halves like that. And I let it be known at halftime on how I felt to the individuals, and we prepare the same way whether we're playing Oklahoma, Ohio State, Lemoyne-Owen, Manhattan. We don't prepare. We don't get high or low because you can't do that in basketball. Football, 1 game a week, you can give a rah-rah speech for the Saturday or Sunday, but in basketball, you play too many games, and there's a lot of ebbs and flows. So you got to keep it consistent on your preparation. But we've got to put 2 halves together. That's just the bottom line. And those guys I mentioned, have to be better. They can't be just one half guys.
Along those lines, if I remember correctly, the SEMO game, you also started out slow and then got it going. Could that be something of just, you could prepare them all you want, but when you look at winless and 1 win.
Yeah, I mean,
young,
look,
impressionable
look.
men.
The bottom line is, I'm not coaching pros. I'm coaching college student athletes. So there's going to be highs and lows, ebbs and flows. But you know what? I showed our guys the film before the game today, and I showed it yesterday, of Scott Cross from UT Arlington, because I talk about it all the time that when people play Memphis, it's their Super Bowl. And I said, in this day and age with the parity, it's all about energy. It's all about defense. It's all about, guarding and playing so hard. And we didn't do that the first half. And Scott Cross they mic'd him and wired him in the game when they played us, and ESPN did. And he talked about to his team, man, this is our Super Bowl. We got to come away. You can tell your kids and grandkids. And I told our guys, this is why I tell you guys all the time. And here's another coach saying it, so you have proof. But again, it's on the guys to come out ready to go every single time. And listen, we had a great practice yesterday. We had a great shoot around. We just got to go. And I put a lot of that on the upperclassmen. And that's on them to get us going. That starting five has got to get us going. That's on nobody else but on them. And you got Ricky a senior, Shaq a senior, Markel's a redshirt sophomore, but the guy's played enough that he's a senior. Avery Woodson's a junior. He's played enough that he's a senior. I mean, the only guy you can give a little excuse for is Diedrich, because he should be a senior in high school. Other than that, but those starting five, but especially those four, got to get the job done for us from the very, very start of the game.
Let's talk about the job Markel did on Richards in the second half, and it seemed to spark him, obviously, offensively, too.
Markel was a stud. He was an All-American the second half. He was no good the first half. No, he stunk the first half. He played 13 or 12 minutes the first half, had 0 rebounds, didn't do anything, was looking to pass, drove to pass. Second half, he played like an All-American. Drove to score, looked to attack the rim. Defensively, he was at a high level. And that's Markel. That's what we need. Markel is that how he was that second half. It's what he was against Ohio State. It's what he was against La Tech. It's what he was the last 5 minutes of the game versus SEMO. The first 25 minutes, 35 minutes of the game, he wasn't real good, and he wasn't real good in UT Arlington. And so our team's going to, I've said this, Markel's a big X factor for us, When he's playing at a high level, our team is way better. When he's not, then we just struggle. We do, and I've told him that over and over. But is that it? Okay, it was good to get the win, and we'll keep on moving and keep on getting better and go from there. Okay, thanks everybody.